It's our last day on the boat before we head into port. We've been sailing for the past month.
We are really close to Cape Cod. We're coming down from Stellwagen Bank, where we saw a bunch of whales this morning.
We've come something over 1,600 miles since we left Key West, and so now we're doing the final stage of getting the ship ready, and then tomorrow we'll take her into port.
I think the trip went really, really well. I think it was a great experience for the students and for all of the faculty and staff on board. Oceanographically, it was an amazing experience. In particular, just seeing the Mississippi River outflow and that color difference and the sargassum surrounding the lobe of the Mississippi River.
As an engineer, seeing the oil rigs was fantastic. It just made me think of what a miraculous engineering feat to construct something of that magnitude in such an environment as the ocean.
As far as marine pollution goes, we did not find very many tar balls. We found a couple, but we didn't find them in the Gulf of Mexico. We found maybe, I think, 2 down there. We're gonna sort of examine the currents in that area and see if maybe that had something to do with it. We did find a lot of plastics, so I'll have some data to sort of look at when I get back to shore.
Good job.
Data.
I love doing the deployments in lab. I thought the Chimbita nets that we would do in the middle of the night were awesome. We'd bring up copepods that, usually they're about this big, and they'd come up about this big, and we'd bring up jellyfish and all this cool marine life that we don't get to see.
I think that's also the cool thing about my sediments is I could only imagine sediment at 900 meters, but until you actually get to bring them up and be like, wow, this is what we imagined, but this is what it actually is. I think that's really cool.
What's been fun for me to watch is the evolution of the students and sort of the community coming together. Over the last 2 weeks, the crew have really gelled.
I think definitely when we got on board the boat, it was daunting. We were like, wow, okay, this is your new home for the next 5 weeks, and you're going to be running her by the end of it.
I went from not knowing anything, but the fact that there was lots of ropes and lots of metal on the boat, and it was supposed to get me somewhere, to knowing exactly what most of them are called, and they're called lines. And I actually know which do what and why and how they work now.
Everyone's pretty good now. Like, we can set a sail without looking silly, and that's key.
Before it was like we had to think through all the steps to try and get there. Now it's more like it just flows a little bit easier.
And like being JWO, being able to call out the tacks and call out the jibes, you're kind of just like, whoa, I just did that.
Set the sails.
It just definitely like boosts your confidence and boosts like what you can do, like push to the limits and you can still get through everything, and so that's really cool. It's definitely given more confidence.
A lot of it was just learning a lot about myself and the things that I thought that I was really good at. I realized that it needed some work. Like my leadership skills, for example, like I learned what it really means to be a leader and to bring a group of people together that are very different and to recognize those individual needs and respond to them in order to accomplish a goal.
When we arrive in Woods Hole tomorrow, it's almost like a feeling of old a bit, where the community, especially the SEA community, obviously, who are vested in the ship, but even the local community, they know that the Kramer's been gone for a long time. She left in October, and so the word goes out a bit. Okay, take off 2 turns. Midships.
Midships.
Okay, 2 turns right.
2 turns right.
4 turns right.
4 turns.
Slow astern.
Slow astern.
Half astern.
Half astern.
We're going to arrive and Kramer's going to look beautiful.
I think it's going to be really exciting.
Ready on 2. Coming over.
Getting to throw out our lines. I'm sure everyone on shore is really looking forward to seeing the Kramer come home.
Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray!
I'm definitely going to miss being on the boat and sort of the way of life here, the sense of community, just being with such a great, incredible bunch of people. I'm definitely going to miss that.
This place is their home at the end of it. That's the whole point. You spend 6 weeks out here getting to know this boat and every inch and corner of it and how everything works, and then it's sad when they leave because it's like they're leaving home, and it's kind of bittersweet because they're happy to see family and friends and everything, but they'll miss it for sure. They'll get culture shock just like they would visiting any other country. This is totally different nation, Kramer Nation.
It was life-changing, really, like in a lot of ways, and it was more than I could have ever anticipated or expected. There's nothing I think that anybody could have said to me that could truly prepare me for everything that I experienced, and everything that I experienced was positive, and I met so many wonderful people, and it was a very inspiring opportunity that I will carry with me for the rest of my life.